Out of all the ways to grow your audience on the web, social media provides one of the best opportunities to grow your audience, but it's also a double-edged sword that could take up a large amount of your time. Some of that through procrastination, other time being spent through interacting with your followers. So there are plenty of ways that social media can slowly eat up our time, and then that hurts our ability to write blog posts, create products, and basically provide something of value to our followers. So there has to be a perfect mix between social media marketing and doing the other things like creating blog posts and creating the products. So I have a very simple blueprint that I use in order to save time on social media. Initially, it looks very simple, and then when you do this method, it will open up a lot of time. All you do, find something that takes up time. Basically, you're identifying the problem, because you can't solve a problem unless you identify it first. Then, you're solving the problem by finding a way to do that process quicker or to completely eliminate it from your entire social media strategy. So if you were to eliminate something, that could be done by allocating it through someone else via outsourcing. And then you would repeat the process, whether you have to invest in tools or you have to get someone for help. You would repeat the process for multiple social media processes that take up your time. So here are some of the ways that I use this method to save so much time in my social media marketing implementation. The Hootsuite bulk scheduler is a huge time saver because what I used to do is I used to manually schedule 50 tweets every single day. Sure, I did get the engagement. People interacted with me. I got the retweets. I got the favorites. But scheduling 50 tweets manually takes at least an hour a day. And now I'm sending over 100 tweets every day. So that would be easily over 2 hours of my time just spent scheduling tweets every single day. The bulk scheduler has brought that down to 6 clicks. I know, it's pretty amazing. You go from 2 hours of scheduling tweets per day to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 clicks. That's it. That doesn't even take a minute. And another thing I did is I constantly follow people using Twitter's search engine, but I've discovered a tool called Tweepy that allows me to follow targeted people, and it saves me an enormous amount of time. I mean, these two methods easily allow me to save over 2 days. So basically, I get 2 extra days into my schedule because I'm saving all of this time, and now this time goes into me creating products like this Udemy course. It goes into me writing blog posts that I put on my blog 3 times a week, over 1,000 words each. So by saving all of this time, I'm able to allocate it to other parts of my business that are necessary for the social media marketing to go well. So how exactly can you save time on your social networks? One of the best ways is to find tools for your social network that allow you to be more productive. That's basically what I do with my strategy. Hootsuite and Tweepy, 2 tools, allow me to save a whole bunch of hours. And when you are looking at all of these tools, only use the best ones, because there are going to be a lot of shiny objects out there, tools that say they do so many great things, but when you go to those tools and you use them for those features, are they really helping? I mean, there are tools with like great metrics and great statistics, but not all of these tools are necessarily helping you save time or get an idea of where you are at so you can improve. So out of all of the blogs that write about social media that are social media based, RazorSocial.com is the best blog for finding social media tools. and several of the tools help you with your marketing and allow you to be more productive at the same time. So by saving time in your social media strategy, you can obviously work on the products and blog posts, but you can also spend more time mastering social networks so you can meaningfully incorporate other social networks into your strategy. I mean, saying that you have a YouTube account, that's not incorporating YouTube into your strategy. Putting in the work for YouTube, uploading the videos, knowing how to optimize each video to get more views, and then promoting them across your other social platforms, that's incorporating YouTube in your social media strategy. And by saving time through some of your social media processes, you make room for others to take their route, to grow, and to lead to bigger audiences. But there is still another great way to save time in your social media marketing, and that is to watch the clock. Out of all of the methods I have used to either time the amount of time I'm spending on social media marketing, to optimize my time there, or to limit the amount of time I spend doing something like play video games, watching the clock is by far the most effective way to do so because it keeps you on track. You realize that you have a certain amount of time before you have to do something else. And if you aren't that good at watching the clock, or the clock is far away, or the clock isn't in the same room, set an alarm. Because the alarm is something that is very hard to forget. And when it sounds, you know it. If you have an alarm set for 6 o'clock in the morning, you know when it's on. There's no, I'll sleep for like 20 more minutes before I hear the alarm. You automatically hear the alarm. Now, whether you choose to snooze it or not to get those extra 20 minutes, that's your choice. But you hear the alarm at 6 o'clock in the morning and it wakes you up. So by setting an alarm, you have a reminder that is practically impossible to miss. And that will remind you that you spent a certain number of time on your social networks. It's time for you to do something else. And in order to actually do something afterwards, you have to know what you will do immediately afterwards. Because if you are struggling to think of what you'll do, you've got like 10 different things you're juggling and like all the reasons you should do one thing or another thing or something else instead, then you'll just continue doing the social media marketing without doing anything that can improve the experience that your social media followers have, such as writing blog posts or creating products or doing other things that allow you to move forward in avenues other than social media marketing. Because social media marketing, it's part social media, which is like the direct version of it, and it's also the indirect, which is what you do outside of it, but still on your business. And the reason you would want to put in some time to creating your products is so you avoid this product marketing dilemma, which basically states that you can't do well if you only have one of them. You need to have both. Now, if you have neither the product nor the marketing, what you do is you create the product first because you need to have something to market. I mean, you could have 1 million followers across your social networks, but what good is it if you have nothing to market? You have nothing to show for it. I mean, you could have all of these followers, but if you're not making revenue or making connections and building relationships and interacting with them, then what's the point? There needs to be a purpose for your social media audience. And that could be to build relationships, interact with people, get to know people. And at the same time, you are also increasing product sales. But when you do promote the products, you are also helping your followers because they want the information that you provide in your products. So in order to avoid the product marketing dilemma, you need to spend a good amount of time on both the marketing and the products. You have to have, just think of one of those seesaws. You have to have it completely equal. If one side goes down and the other side goes up, it's not good for your overall strategy from a business standpoint. So put both of these together, invest equal amounts of time into each, and then just merge them together. Create the product, market the product using social media and other ways. That will lead to more product sales. That will lead to more relationships. That will lead to your audience growing. That will lead to people coming back and viewing your social media accounts. And then the cycle will just continue. But it all starts by getting out of this particular dilemma. And products you could create. Well, you could create a training course here on Udemy. You can write a book on Kindle. And you could do a bunch of other products as well. There are plenty of different ideas, but you need to have your own product that you market on social media. That is all for this lecture. I hope it has served you. And what I want you to do is to dream big, achieve greatness, and unlock your potential today.